Christine's Corner. Stay and watch the show. You'll feed your heart and soul. Meeting people in the know. Christine's Corner. Christine's Corner. Christine's Corner.
Hi, welcome back to Christine's Corner. My voice is, I'm working on it, but we'll get through this, right? And it'll be more of my guess, which that's good because then we'll find out more. But be patient. So my guest I've had on my show is Doreen Breen. She's on my right. You have seen her do her Warrior Woman. And it's phenomenal. We were like, which one should we do? And I'm glad that she picked that. Today is about senior citizens. So any senior citizens out there, pull them in. You know, I myself being a senior, there's moments, a lot of moments, where you just don't feel like you're being treated or heard. Well, I'm going to let Doreen go on this and we'll discuss this. Thank you. So go ahead, Doreen.
Thank you, Christine. So last week I turned 75, and a couple of things happened last week. First of all, my husband, who's going to be 78 in a few weeks, he auditioned for a group that you're very much aware of.
Yes.
The Golden Age Theater Group.
Yes.
Out of Waterbury. And he has been in theater for about 35 years and had not done anything since COVID. And so I pushed him to go to the audition, and wasn't he absolutely thrilled when the cast list came out and he has a speaking part as one of the pirates.
Fantastic.
The great thing about the theater is that you have to be a senior to be part of this group.
60 to 104.
Right. And you don't have to have any kind of experience in acting or singing or anything.
No.
And everybody gets cast.
You can go on there with a walker.
Right.
And in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And so, you know, what Terry had been finding was that because he mainly does set construction and running crew, that he wasn't getting called for shows. And we thought that was probably because of his age. And so when you look at a lot of the actors in community theaters, they're getting younger and younger. Yes. And so I think it's great that Bob Tansley started this theater group for seniors. Yeah. And we look forward to seeing Christine and Terry in Peter Pan.
Yes, I'm going to be one of the Lost Boys.
Great.
Pirate, Lost Boy, so yeah.
And the other thing that happened was I happened to be a textile artist. And that same week, I was working on a special project. I was decorating top hats with a Alice in Wonderland theme, because where I have my studio at Whiting Mills, we were doing open studios, and they're celebrating 20 years of having artists in the building. So I placed my order at a craft store that I shall not name.
No, please don't do that.
And so I did it online, which I usually do not like to do, but I needed to pick it up quickly in the morning, and by ordering it online I got a 30% discount. So I did my order, making sure, as I have seen in the past, that sometimes when you do these large chain stores, not all the stores have what you need. So I was very careful to make sure that where I wanted to pick it up, they had the things. Arrived in the morning and said, you know, I'm here to pick up my order. And they told me they didn't have an order for me. And I showed them the receipt that I had from the online order, and they said, no, we don't have an order. And so the young woman called over her manager, and she starts with me, dear, I think you probably ordered it from the wrong store.
Oh, I get that. Yeah. Are you sure you're in the right place?
Yeah. And I said, this location is halfway between my home and my studio, so this is where I would order. She's probably like 5 times, she said to me, dear, I think you probably ordered it from another store.
Oh, so humiliating.
I'm Scottish and a little bit of a rebel, and so I said to her, I said, okay, I put my hand up, and I said, I'm not accusing you of doing anything wrong, and I don't appreciate you indicating that I did something wrong. I was very careful when I placed the order. And so I said, but it's not here, so let's just say that it's a glitch in cybervision. I'll pick up what I need. And I said, but I expect that I'll get the 30% discount, which was one of the reasons I ordered. And she said, oh no, we can't do that. And so I said, well, what can you offer me? So she said, well, if you go over there, and she points like to the other side of the store, she said, you can sign up for a discount. I said, I'm really not sure where you're pointing to. And so now I'm, of course, totally incompetent. So she leads me over to this this display, and in the middle of the display is a poster that has the QR code. Now, dear, you put your camera down here, but don't take a picture. Just put your camera. So it was like horrible. And I've been thinking, Christine, for probably like 5 or 6 years about how people have started to treat me differently. I don't feel different. Sometimes I'm a little forgetful, sometimes a little stiff, but I'm still very active and very creative, and I don't like to be talked down to. And it's not just people in the stores. It's my children sometimes. It's friends. It's all kinds of people who just see you now as being old and that you've changed.
Yeah, I've gotten that where something happened to you, your operation, car accident, and now you feel like, they make you feel like, should we put her in a home? Mm-hmm. That's how you feel.
Absolutely.
And you have one foot in the grave. And that's not true. And you have to dig yourself out and you have to prove yourself. And I said, I shouldn't have to do that.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm sure it's not intentional. I hope not. But I think the whole society needs to be educated on what seniors can do, because they picture and with the wagons, and the horse and buggy.
Right.
And
it may not be intentional, but I feel like I'm not being seen.
Yeah.
Because if you saw me, if you listened to me, you wouldn't think that I had lost my brain and that I was totally incapable of doing anything. And so it may not be intentional, but I don't believe that they're looking at us or seeing us and hearing us. And that makes me very sad.
Yeah, I don't know what age, maybe, if they think 30, 40, 50, what.
Yeah. So one of the things I did was I looked up some definitions.
Oh, good.
Of, what is it all about, elders, seniors, elderly. And so elderly was the first one, because I hear that being used a lot on me. I'd like to be called an elder, and I'll explain later why, but I hear much more elderly or senior. And elderly is actually an adjective, and it has a very negative connotation in our society. It's by definition, it's a group of people of advanced age. But they did an interview with medical students, and they asked them to, what did they think of when they thought of elderly? And they defined it as old, wrinkled, bent over, bald or white hair. Totally suggests an image of decline, not vitality. And so it's sad. The reason I said that I would prefer to be an elder is that the other terms that go with elder are matriarch, patriarch, senior citizen. And it's a noun, and it also is the noun for a person of advanced age. But it's also defined as a leader or senior figure honored in a tribe or a group. So countries like Japan, China, India, Korea, a lot of indigenous cultures, they really look at their elders as being a precious resource.
Wow, that is much, much beautiful. That's, yeah.
So I want to be an elder.
Yeah.
Don't call me elderly.
Right.
So in the U.S., elderly senior is 65.
Wow.
Although I think work-wise, they're trying to push us for Social Security until we're 70. They keep pushing that age out there. The United Nations worldwide sees it as being 60. And AARP sees it as being 50.
50.
50.
Yeah.
So you can get senior discounts when you're 50 with AARP.
Yeah, they were bothering me before I turned 50.
Right. And so they are dropping the limit significantly between 65 and 50. That's
Yeah.
a significant drop. Yeah. So I'd like to read you something that for me is why I want to be an elder.
Yeah.
The word elder can mean many things. The elder may be fierce, eccentric, wild. She may be the energy that sets about disrupting the status quo. And you know me, that's me.
Yes.
She may also represent the deep, restful dark, the slow sinking back into quietness within that is arguably one of the greatest gifts of extreme old age. So I think there's a balance between the two, because I do like to rest now. I'm not always on a time clock. I don't set as many deadlines as I used to. So to a woman of the Celtic nation, and that's where I'm from, to become elder is above all to become the Cailleach, which is the queen of winter, the old woman, the hag. To represent the integrity and health of the wild places and creatures of this world. To become elder is to become strong, strong as the white old bones of the earth, strong enough to endure the long, lonely vigil to the end of the world. To become elder is to hold the power, stay the course. Above all, to become elder is to become the wise woman, the one who knows the secrets and speaks the languages of the land, who speaks with the moral authority of the other world, who weaves the dreaming of the world.
That's beautiful.
So we are magical women,
Yeah.
wise women. And
Look at all the experience that we have learned, and we know the knowledge. And
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, just think about all the things that you've done.
Oh, yeah, and keep doing.
Right.
I can't keep it straight.
Yeah.
I'm still in, I went back to school, to college.
Yeah.
I have this TV show.
Yeah.
I've been doing acting. I'm just,
Yeah.
I am not going to be, I refuse to be what they believe that we should be, is sitting in our rocking chairs, rocking on the porch, or watching TV.
It's sad when I see people like that who are taking on that image that people are putting out there. They're taking it on. I spoke to someone recently who's 68 and has retired, and now doesn't do much except sit home and watch TV.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah. We have so much that we can do.
I mean, and it's good for your whole body to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're just walking, it's something.
Yeah.
Or, your local senior center, and they have loads of things you can do.
And I think that, when I look around, there are a lot of very active elders. And of course, all of my friends are in that category now. But they're very creative people doing amazing things. And I just, I feel sad that as a general population, people are being affected by what's being put out there. And one of the things I did was I looked at ageism, which is a new word for me, and it's prejudice or discrimination based on a person's age. And what the studies have shown is it's extremely harmful to older people. It's dehumanizing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they are. People are demeaned. They're isolated. They're shamed, and it creates great suffering. So my message is that we need to change that.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to get rid of all this ageism.
It used to be the whole family would be together in one house, their grandparents, and they were the ones that you went to for advice.
Yeah.
And it seems to be changed around, and they would take care of them, and they didn't have a problem. Now it's like, I don't have time. Just push her away.
I think
or
that
him.
I think we're in a difficult time in that we're sort of like an in-between generation. So I think when I look at my parents and my grandparents, their elderly people were respected. But we've become so entrenched with all the changes. And when you look at, some of the things that I was thinking about was, you just look at, we live in a culture where beauty, especially for women, is being young and slim. It doesn't fit either one of us.
Right.
You can't, I have friends who can't live on their Social Security. And so they're going to be working and in their 70s and 80s just to supplement that, whether they're artists making jewelry but they can't live on their Social Security. If you're over 55 and you want to get a job to supplement that.
It's extremely difficult.
Right.
If I was difficult as a teenager,
Right. Except if you're a politician. If you're 70, you can be a politician. If you're 80, you can run for president.
Yes, that's true.
And, but for us normal people.
In the Senate, they stay in there forever.
Yeah. And so, and then it's, the way we talked about it earlier, when you're spoken down to, like as if at a certain age, your brain has been sucked out and, you can't comprehend anything anymore. I had a friend who was recently in a convalescent home, and she had a stroke, a brilliant woman, an artist, an author, and she had a stroke, and so her speech was a little bit difficult. I went to visit her, and the way that they were speaking to her was that she was totally incompetent, and she knew exactly what was going on. But because of the stroke, she couldn't communicate as clearly.
Yes.
But they were yelling at her, getting right in her face. She wasn't deaf. The stroke didn't make her deaf, and she understood what they were saying. She was just having trouble communicating back. And I felt awful. It's like...
I went into a rehab, I won't say where, I had surgery on my knee. And after I could get out and about, they wheeled me with a bunch of the other ladies and in a wheelchair. I could walk, but we're all in wheelchairs, and they talked down. Are you comfortable? Are you okay? And they went in the face too, like I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
And I'll do this. I felt like I was in kindergarten. And I wheeled myself. No, I got out of the wheelchair and walked out. I have none of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, please, I don't ever want to come in this.
Right.
Ever.
And so we need to change some things. And I think for me, one of the most frustrating things, and I think it's where we are, the in-between generation where things have changed, is the automation. I mean, you can't do anything now without doing it on your computer. You can't get a real person to help you with anything.
No.
You have to do it all online.
Electronics and try to call them.
Right. And the prompts on the phone. By the time I get to 7, I forgot what one was. I don't know which one to press. And so
I meet on the minutes and data.
Right. And so the prompts, and even when you use your debit card or a credit card, every machine, point of sale machine is different. And so it's like, just the automation part, I think, is where we're struggling, because for my grandchildren and my children, it's easier because they've always had it. For us, it's new, and we're...
Yeah, and it's like I have to ask my 5-year-old, how do I work on this computer?
Well, we went through that recently with the TV situation.
Yes.
So I know it's hard. Yeah. But we're making it, and we're going to make it different. It's tough to get old. The limitations are real. I mean, I am a little more forgetful than I used to be. I am stiffer sometimes.
Yeah, you move slower, but that doesn't mean you're just, you're gone. You're going to turn into ashes, and your brain is a vegetable.
No.
But that's how they make you feel.
So I'm going to tell you that I think age is just a number.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you some numbers. Jane Fonda is receiving the 2024 Earth Awards from Time Magazine for environmental work. She has resolved to do more after the California wildfires. Her number is 86.
86.
Patty Penny is graduating from Central Connecticut May 11th with a degree in general studies with a minor in social studies. Her number is 81. Laura Ingalls Wilder began writing Little House on the Prairie. Her number is 65.
Wow.
Harriet Thompson, a cancer survivor, ran her first marathon at 76, and by the time she was 90, she had completed 15 marathons.
Wow.
Me, I did my first fashion show, fulfilling a childhood dream as a fashion designer. My number was 69.
Yeah.
Pablo Picasso produced 347 engravings the year he was 87.
Wow.
Grandma Moses started painting at
That's right.
76
That's right. I remember that.
and painted daily for 25 years till she was 101, producing thousands of paintings.
There's a couple of ladies that I know, they're 104, and she made 5 books she produced in 3 years.
Yeah. And so I wanted to also bring awareness to an organization. It's called The Elders, and you can find it online. And it was founded by Nelson Mandela in 2007. And they work for peace, justice, human rights, and sustainable planet. They're all global leaders, and they are all elders.
Good for
We're
them.
calling ourselves
That's
from
right.
now on
Elders.
Mary Robinson, the former president of Ireland. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former president of Liberia. Ban Ki-moon, former Secretary General of the United Nations. Gro Harlem Brundtland, former Prime Minister of Norway. And deceased Jimmy Carter, former U.S. President, and Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
Queen Elizabeth.
So they were amazing people who decided, as Jane Fonda has done, and John Kerry, politician, that they were going to use their elderhood to be an activist, to make change. So I think that we should be supporting our young people and becoming more active in climate issues, in social justice issues, and all of those things. But I think it's really important that as elders, that we take care of ourselves, and that we are looking to keep ourselves healthy and active. And so I'd like to give some suggestions on what works for me and what I hope will work for others. And that is, adjust your mindset. Don't get stuck in that rut of being old and not able to do things. Be active, be positive, be grateful, be open-minded, and try new things. Be creative. There's nothing that makes you more connected to yourself than to be creative. Take stock, self-reflection, focus on your strengths and abilities, and expand on what you already like to do. Do more. Push it there. Keep learning. Make a difference. Contribute to others, volunteer, help each other, be involved in your community. And the last thing is to have faith, to have a spiritual path, a religious path, whatever works for you. Find your path and work on your beliefs. And I think that we could all do amazing things. And I figure at 75, I have at least another 25, 30 years.
Right.
So I have lots of things that I plan to do. And I'd like to just end this part with a quote from Sophia Loren. There is a fountain of youth. It is your mind, your talents, the creativity you bring to your life, and the lives of the people you love. When you learn to tap this source, you will truly have defeated age.
Wow.
So we're going to use that as our mantra from now on.
Yes.
Christy.
Yeah, definitely. We all need to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
As they say, stop and smell the roses. I mean, just getting your hair done at the dresser.
Absolutely.
Having a spa day. You know, even if you're not going anywhere. Get your nails done.
Getting dressed every day.
Even putting a dress on. I mean, it feels great.
Absolutely.
You're in jeans and then you feel like a woman.
Yeah.
I feel afraid of doing the white hair because I do get treated differently.
I got
Someone
the white
said,
hair.
I think she was 70 or 80, and she said, "Oh, didn't we go graduate high school together?" And I went home and dyed my hair.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even there yet. But
Yeah.
the age is
It's
how.
funny. My mom lived till she was 96, and she had red hair.
Wow.
And she dyed her hair all the way up until she
passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she used to get very upset with me when I let my hair go white, and she would she would try to give me money. Go get your hair dyed.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So you made a lot of good points, and I'm sure there's a lot more that we.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that we just help each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep pushing.
And treat your elders.
Yeah.
A lot better. Stop and think. You know, we're good. We do need. We're not saying we don't want the help, but we appreciate that you love us, think about us, and worry about us, but give us credit.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to Christine's Corner. Love you.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!
Hello, I'm Bill Meyer, Board Director for Nutmeg TV, your local public TV station. For over 30 years now, Nutmeg has brought countless local events, municipal meetings, and programs to our TV screens. To continue this important work, Nutmeg relies on the support of generous individuals like yourself. So we're reaching out today to ask for your monetary support. Together we can continue to amplify the voices and stories that make our community unique and vibrant.
To make a donation, simply visit our website at nutmegtv.com or call the office at 860-321-7405 for assistance.